your thoughts. I wanna hear your sound. And mama always told me to shout and speak my mind out loud. Come on and talk when you got the time. Freedom, want you on the line. We wanna hear from you. You gotta go and let your voice shine. Platform yours is not just mine. We wanna hear from you. You gotta go and talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You're gonna shine. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You're gonna shine. Welcome to the Freedom Savage Podcast.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy Douglas, or you can call me Freedom. Welcome to my channel. This is season 2, episode 5 of my podcast. As I already told y'all before, the room is still getting renovated, so please bear with me and forgive my background. Before we get started, make sure that you guys like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Why? Because you need me. I have a feeling that this episode is going to be really, really good, per usual. Also, like I said, excuse my background. I do have a fan on because they still have the heat on in my room, and it's really hot. So again, just forgive me if y'all hear that or my brother or anything in the background. Just forgive me for the noise. Yeah, with that being said, let's get started with our first segment. All right, you guys, welcome to my first segment. This is Freedom of Speech. As y'all know, today I have a very special guest with me. Mia, you can introduce yourself, give your pronouns, and tell everybody who you are.
Okay, my name's Mia. I don't know, do I say my whole name? Yeah, my name's Mia. My pronouns are she, they. What about me? I'm an actor. We're trying to be an actor. I go to school at Douglas. What else? Like, who am I? I don't know who I am. That's something about me.
Mia is my classmate. We had classes last semester. This semester, they didn't even have the decency of putting us in classes together, but we still keep in contact. And I'm so glad that you are able to join this podcast today because it was definitely needed. Before we even get into any topic, the first thing I like to ask my guests is, how are you? How's your mental? How's everything? How's the semester been? How's your holiday? Stuff like that.
I'm doing well. That's all I'll say. Like, we're getting through. Am I allowed to say that our school's on strike? Yeah, our school's on strike.
From last episode.
That's been crazy. I feel like without just not having a routine, trying to readjust to that has been a little interesting. Definitely some sad days, and it's cold. But other than that, we're doing well. Thanksgiving. This was my first Thanksgiving that I ever had without my family. I didn't go home this year because I got it. Okay, so I have a job. And the first day was Black Friday, but it's like a seasonal job.
Okay.
And it's
not permanent.
It's not permanent. I know that it's going to be done. I'm a Christmas elf, or I'm friends with one of Santa's elves.
Okay.
Okay,
that's some real holiday spirit right there.
So, besides being sad, on other days, you can't not be sad when you're in the Christmas spirit, it feels like.
Of course, especially in those damn outfits. Of course, it's going to be hard to. Oh my God, that's actually a cute ass job. Where is that? In Manhattan?
Yeah, it's you ever been to Macy's Herald Square? The big,
Oh my God! Oh, it's right there. Because you want to know something, and I'm gonna tell you off camera, but I was doing a little something because your boy also acts and stuff outside of school. So I was doing a little something around that area, and that I can't talk about yet. But I did walk past the Macy's, and I saw that it was in my mind, I was like, damn. Nothing gives tourist attraction like that. It looks beautiful. I wish I would have took a picture because the way they decorated just the front of the store. The windows, yeah. Oh my God. It's they already put you in the Christmas spirit. Even if you don't celebrate it, whatever, it's so appealing. The way it looks on the front is just so appealing. It's wow. You know what I mean? They looked really, really beautiful.
Yeah. They really go all out inside the world too.
You want to know something? I need to one day actually go inside the Macy's and just see what it's giving. Because if it's giving that on the outside, I hope I'm not Like, I hope it is exactly what it is on the outside. I have a feeling it is, but especially it being in like Herald Square, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's going to be done up really nice. I haven't really been able to speak to you in detail because, we're both busy, but this semester has been tiring for me, to the point where the strike was kind of needed for me personally. I needed some resting and regrouping, only because I don't think I told you this, but my mom did pass away over the summer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
we never got the chance to talk at all, so you didn't know this, but Jack did. Shout out to Jack, that's our friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom passed away over the summer, and I still, chose to go to school just because. Look, she didn't raise a quitter, so like I'm one of those people where it's like, okay, I'm gonna keep on going. But there were days when I almost burnt myself out with this semester already. More is being demanded of us academically, so it's been a lot of adjusting that I've been having to do, and then without having my mom physically here as a support system has been hard. So there were days when I didn't even feel like getting up to go at all, but I still did, and I still passed, thank God. And I would say that I'm still doing very well in all of my classes, which I'm grateful for. But the strike was definitely needed just so I could find a chance to regroup. Like, I was able to buy a piano for one of my classes, so now I'm able to actually like do more stuff with myself. I don't know. It was needed, but at the same time, I also can't wait to go back to finish and do everything that I have to do as far as, school is concerned. So far, so good. And my Thanksgiving was really, really awesome too. My friends came over. So my best friend and my cousin, they spent Thanksgiving with me. And then my cousin came back the next day with my other two friends. And we basically just had like a feast where we just had like all the leftovers.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Just ate all of the leftovers, all of the desserts, and we got drunk. So it was great. Like, it was great. It was great. It was definitely needed. And yeah, but I got a cold right after. I was sick all weekend. And that's why, because we were going to do this yesterday, but my throat was still not being a throat. So I had to kind of like rest a little bit more. That way I could actually be able to like talk. And like when I have a cold, my glands start to swell.
And you're a singer.
Yeah. And I'm a singer.
Mm-hmm.
So not only is it pain, but it eats up my voice. So like I sound 80 octaves lower than I usually would. And I could barely talk, and it hurts to talk. So it's like I have to take painkillers to get that pain away. Then I have to worry about the sore throat and the runny nose and all those things.
Yeah, sickness is in the air.
Yeah, and then sickness is in the air. And it was to the point where like I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, but I was like, let me come back to get my flu shot because I didn't want to get the flu shot yet. I just got over a cold, so let me not, what can you do? We're just living.
Yeah.
Literally bringing me into the topic that I wanted to speak to you about. I was on TikTok today, and I saw a TikTok about bullying. It was specifically talking about bullying going on in a specific college, but this girl got her TikTok stitched so many times. Like her TikTok kind of went like viral, and so many people were stitching her TikTok and talking about the bullying that they still face in college. And it's like bullying that you would really see in like middle school or high school. It's so shocking that in their particular colleges, some of them are still being messed with. And that's so weird because you would think college, everybody being like 18 plus, you wouldn't think that people would be that like immature, and to still notice that people very much still are, it's like, it's mind boggling. And even with certain classmates of ours, one particular one that I ain't gonna mention because there's a lot happening with this one particular one in our school. But when I was around him, it was like the person he was and the stuff he did to kids in our class, it just gave me the feeling as if I was in middle school all over again. And he's older than us. My mom did tell me that, when you get to college, there's going to be more of a need to assert yourself and assert
Yeah.
respect to yourself. Don't think that it's going to be less. You're going to have to do it more. Like my mom told me best, and I was shocked when I actually saw like kind of like front view exactly what she meant in a way. What's your overview on bullying? I'm pretty sure you were bullied at one point in your life. Everybody was bullied. But like, just brief background on just like your bullying story and how you overcame it and just social skills, I guess.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that because I remember last year starting school or starting college, like being freshman, like looking around and being like, why? I was like, no, we're going to be so mature. Like I was ready to get out of high school because I was like, ew, I don't really like this environment. And then I got here and I was like, why are we acting like this still? And I was like, maybe it's because we're like artsy people and they're trying to push competition on us or something like that. But I have no clue. I feel like, I don't know if I've ever had really big encounters with bullies, but I had friends who were really affected. And especially like we kind of grew up in a time where bullying was centered online, which is hard because you can't get away from it, like when you go home.
Yeah.
But high school, I think I remember, I wasn't here for the environment or the pettiness it was a lot of like just saying bad things, trying to get people to agree with your opinion of this person and shut people down. And I remember I did early college, like dual enrollment, because I wanted to get away from it. So I really only had like 2 classes at my high school. I think I have seen more bullying in college than I did in high school, at least like up close. Like,
really?
I think so, yeah. Especially like, well, the university that we go to, trying to be so progressive, like I've been really surprised seeing, well, okay, we're talking about this in class and you go here and like you speak about all these things, like we're standing up and fighting for people, but we're still making fun of people for like face value things. And yeah.
This is college we're talking about.
I know. Okay. I feel like in the world too, like as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that like adults act this way too. Like adults act like they're in high school too, and it's really surprising.
You never graduate high school. That was another thing my mom taught me. And it's so weird. And it doesn't apply to college only. It really applies to real life, like the world. Like you really never graduate high school. And it's mind-boggling. And I saw it last semester just with certain people that I encountered in our university. Mm-hmm. But I would say that me personally, I've never saw bullying of any sorts in our university. But then again, I don't really talk to a lot of people. If it's not you or Jack, I'm kind of not talking to anybody. And it's not on purpose. It's just like I'm a people person, but I'm one of those type of people where it's like, if people don't really like come to me, I don't really make myself too known. I'm kind of one of those people where it's like, I focus on my work, I leave. I'm genuinely shocked because for me, it was the reverse. You know what I mean? I am a victim of heavy bullying. And I'm glad that, I got to center this episode on it because this is actually inspired by one of my friends because I was talking to her. I've been deciphering on whether or not I actually wanted to talk about my bullying experiences on this podcast. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, I don't want to keep making myself feel like such a victim. I know everybody's been bullied, but my friend helped me realize that my story is mine. You know what I mean? And it's okay if I want to, talk about the stuff that happened to me because it may help others instead of keeping it to myself because of what so-and-so people may think of me. You know what I mean? I didn't really get bullied in high school. It was mostly during elementary and middle school, while I was in school and while I was outside of school. At home, I got bullied by the kids in my neighborhood. But I got 2 different types of treatment when it came to my bullying. Elementary and middle school, I got bullied more because of my race. I went to school with predominantly white kids. So a lot of them bullied me just because I was Black. And they told me that to my face. It wasn't something that I, put together. And like I said in class last semester, I was asked if I picked cotton in 7th grade. I was called the N-word twice. I remember specifically in 8th grade, I'll never forget this girl in my class. I'm not going to say her name. because we're not going to give her no clout. But she was with me from 3rd grade till 12th grade. I've literally spent all of my school years with her. We've been in every grade, and she's been in the same major as me. So we've been in the same class since 3rd grade, same major since 3rd grade. She was the popular kid. In 5th grade, she made the entire class not like me, which subjected me to more tormentation and more bullying from all of my classmates. I had no friends. And in 8th grade, it was pretty much the same thing. And one day we were reading To Kill a Mockingbird. There's a character in To Kill a Mockingbird. I believe his name is Tom Robinson. He was a Black man that was convicted and executed for a crime that he didn't commit. And one day I bumped into her during history class, and she thought it would be funny to call me Tom Robinson, like, oh, Tom Robinson. Like, she started calling me that as like a run-on joke throughout the class.
What the fuck?
Because she thought it was funny. Yeah, it's like that, exactly. She got lunch detention for like a day, which wasn't really even lunch detention because the tables where lunch detention was, it was in the center of the cafeteria, meaning you were still with everybody you had lunch with. All they had to do was walk by you. They'll be able to sit and talk with you or whatever. Like, it wouldn't even matter halfway into the period if you have lunch detention. She definitely did not feel bad about none of the bullying that she put upon me. She was like a big bulk of my trauma. She always did little mischievous things, not only to me, but to my friends. So if she saw that you associated with me, you got bullied too.
Wow.
But what stopped me from always defending myself was I knew how it was going to look to a lot of the parents and to a lot of the general public in my school. She was actually around my height, believe it or not. She was pretty tall too, but from the looks of it, it was big Black kid, average size white girl. To the general public in my school, who's the bad guy? A lot of the times I didn't say anything. You know, I kept my mouth shut. Now, it was different in my neighborhood. In my neighborhood, I got bullied for who I was. I know I'm going to be speaking for a lot of men when I say this, especially Black men that come from where I come from. But I grew up in the projects. Because I didn't fit their image of what a Black man was, because of the idea that I was gay, I got picked on and bullied tremendously because of it. Actually, still this day, a lot of people in my neighborhood are under the assumption that I'm gay because it was just a common belief because of how I would act when I'm outside, because of my mannerisms, because of how feminine I was as a person, because I sung, because I didn't really
being
play
in the arts,
yeah, you know, and then being in the arts, already making myself weird or like put in a more unique box.
Yeah.
You know, I was subjected to way more tormentation. I got garbage thrown at me. I almost got attacked on certain occasions, but it was mainly verbal because I tried to be everybody's friend in my neighborhood. Like, I tried to be, you know, some friends with some of my bullies, like to try to look past what they did. And I would actually put myself in uncomfortable situations, which would lead me to get bullied more. So, and it was to the point where I was so tired of all of the bullying that I began to isolate myself in my neighborhood. Around 2017, 2018, I began to isolate myself. And I was like, you know what? Instead of being in front of people that don't really care about me or like me, let me just take time to focus on the stuff I do like and my craft. And the friends that I did have, they were able to kind of accept the fact that I didn't really want to go outside. And if I did, let's hang out, probably not on the block. Let's hang out outside of the neighborhood. You know what I mean? It was one of the best decisions that I could have ever made because I'm here now. You know what I mean? I was able to focus more on my craft, grow more as an artist, and I just began to devote more of my time to things that matter to me than being outside and getting made fun of, aside from those small violins. Bullying had a huge effect on me, but once high school came, I went to LaGuardia.
Oh, yeah.
It was filled with kids like me. And that's what my mom said. Like, when she saw everybody leaving the building, she was like, oh my God, like, it's like you're going to school with a million views. Like, that was the joke she had throughout the time I was in high school, because I was with kids that had the same ideas about art. You know, they were just as artistic as I was. So I never got bullied. And yeah, I was asked if I was gay and stuff in high school. You know, kids also got that same assumption. A lot of people did. But the difference between those questions I got asked in high school and the questions I got asked in my neighborhood was the intent. You see, kids in my high school, they genuinely wanted to know. They didn't care, you know. But kids in my neighborhood and people in my neighborhood, because I've gotten bullied by adults as well, unfortunately. But they did it with the intent of insulting me and degrading who I was as a person. With that being said, coming to high school and college, I actually didn't deal with it. I have the pleasure in saying that I have not dealt with any bullying. I'm sorry, I gave you an earful just now. Are you okay?
No, I'm okay. I think I'm so sorry that happened and that like that's fucked up. Like those are like really fucked up experiences. I don't think like, yeah, that's terrible. But I love that you like, it feels like, I don't know. I feel like I want to describe it as like self-care to like rid your environment and like clear your space. Because
that's so weird that you say self-care.
Yeah.
Because I was 11 years old. I didn't create it. I know this is like a well-known concept, but I started to grasp onto the concept of having self-love. And I started to write a blog. Yeah, I have my own blog. I just haven't shared it with nobody on my social media accounts yet, but I've actually been contemplating on reviving it. But I had a blog where I would kind of blog about, you know, who I am and stuff like that. And when my mom saw my blog, a particular one that I wrote about bullying, she was in awe. She was like, oh my God, like, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm able to understand my child and where my child is coming from. It was literally a reflection how I was being bullied at that time. And 2014, fifth grade, when I was 11, my bullying was at a whole nother level. Like I would say that was one of those years where my bullying was very, very bad because I was being bullied at home and in school. At home meaning outside, not in my house. I wrote about being feminine and being a feminine boy, how sometimes femininity is always equated to being homosexual. I took back some of the stuff I said last year, only because as we dive into more gender stuff nowadays, I began to realize that masculinity and femininity are nothing but social constructs that are placed upon us. I began to realize that I don't need to tell people that I'm feminine in order to be accepted or if they don't understand fully who I am. It was to the point where I was making my femininity who I was. Like it'll be included as a trait that I may tell people. And last year I decided to stop that. If you want to get to know me, get to know me. But if you don't understand me, I don't know what to say. It's my love life. It's my business. I'm Douglas. I don't have to put femininity on anything. I don't have to put masculinity on anything. You know what I mean? I'm Douglas. I am who I am.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Okay, that you say that because I've been seeing more like and realizing that how at least these words of masculinity and femininity, like things that we characterize as feminine are usually like demonized or looked down upon. If we enjoy things that are feminine, it makes us like more fragile, more weak. And we should be wanting to do these masculine things. Gender, first of all, is not real. We're maybe noticing this a little bit. People are allowed to be people, and or at least we're trying to get to a point where people.
We're trying, yeah.
Especially our school. I'd say that's something that our school does. Your gender is whatever you create it to be, and like your performance of your gender is whatever you decide for it, and it doesn't have to be any kind of big thing. And we shouldn't be criticized for it.
If anything, be willing to learn about it. Like, and that's another thing. And I do want to say this. Other gender roles are now being acquired by certain people, you know, they, them, and other pronouns, which I'm all here for. I'm all here for people doing whatever makes them feel happy. I don't care. Whatever you want to be identified as, whatever you want to be called, I'm all for it. I don't know a lot about the non-binary community and what it means to actually call yourself they, them. And I wanted to know if you mind giving me, because I see that you also go by they. I wanted to know if you could kind of give me a brief view of what that is. Not saying that I am. I mean, personally, I identify as he, him, but I do want to know what is that about? You know, I've told my friends this. Like, I am confused about it. So if you don't mind bringing me into that little world a little bit, if that's okay.
Of course. The first thing is that it's specific to each person. I know a lot of people who have said, like, ever since I was little, I have never felt really in this, in being a boy or in being a girl. And I kind of feel like I function more in the in-between. Non-binary does not mean androgynous, but for some people it can look that way. Everybody has masculine and feminine within themselves all the time. That's what I believe. Literally everyone. And I think like marketing and things we've learned through our lives have been telling us like that we need to pick one. You need to pick one thing and you need to do it. Like in not even just in gender, in so much. And so like you need to be feminine or you need to be masculine, and the way you do feminine and masculine is like this or like this, and there's nothing else. For me, I feel like yes, I realize I want to acknowledge the dualities within myself, and I realize that on any given day I can feel more one way or more another way, or like in whatever spot I want to be. The dream would be like, oh my gosh, we like get to a point where everybody is just like, okay, well, what are you? You're human. That's the hope. Like,
that part.
Like fingers crossed, like we can just be like, isn't that what we are? It's taking steps. And it could even be like a step could be changing your fashion, because it's ridiculous to me that clothing has been so associated with gender. Like if you want to wear a damn skirt one day, wear a damn skirt. Like
that part.
You want to be
so weird.
It's so weird.
It's so weird. Like, and
colors too. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like
colors get me. I was told when I was younger, like first of all, I'm wearing pink now, but
pink used to be a very masculine color in like the Victorian era.
I didn't even know that, because when I was growing up, pink was a forbidden ass color. I could not have pink.
That's crazy.
I could not own anything pink. It was only until I got older where it was like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna care about pink. But when I was younger, oh no, it was not a thing where boys gonna have pink at all. You want to know something? Music definitely plays on gender. When I was younger, I was bullied by some of my relatives, not even kids or people outside my actual family. Some of my family members bullied me. One particular one that I ain't gonna name bullied me a lot when I was younger because I liked Beyonce, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, and I would listen to their music tremendously. And it was to the point where, you know, he got the vibes as if I was gay just because I listened to their music, sung every word, and liked them. You know, just because they're singing about a boy doesn't mean that I'm singing about a boy. I'm singing the song because I like the damn song.
It's sound. What do you mean?
Yeah, like it's a song. You know, you sing a song that you like. It's a song. Like, you know, I didn't bother to change no pronouns. Like I sung the song exactly how it was written. It doesn't mean I'm singing to that person. I like the song. And it bothered me for years, but my 8th grade guidance counselor told me, and I'll never forget it. Shout out to Mr. Coyote. But he told me there's no such thing as girl songs. I was told by certain family members, don't sing this because these are girl songs. You need to listen to men's songs. And he told me one day that there's no such thing as that. Like there's songs sung by women.
Yeah,
sung by men, etc. A lot of men write a lot of songs for women. Like a lot of these very feminine songs that you guys hear sung and hear on the radio today are written by men. Like I know it doesn't sound that big, but it was a huge ass revelation for me at 14 hearing that. And that really helped me. And my mom never got at me for the music I liked. Like she loved that I was well-rounded. First of all, I like all music.
Yeah.
Like that's one. If you know me, you know I like rock, pop. I'm in college for opera. Come on. But you know I like everything. But it's so funny how we as a society began to place a gender on everything. Last year, like circling back a little bit, last year, I also had to accept the fact that I'm still a little bit pressed about a lot of the bullying I went through. I had to admit that I wasn't over it. I had to admit that last year because to me, it was just like, why? Like some of the things I was worried about, it was just like, why? Like, it was like, I felt like I was put in situations that could have easily been avoided had you just respected me a little bit more.
I don't believe that this person who bullied you for your music has never like enjoyed a song by like Lady Gaga or some shit. Like,
let's talk.
That's a lot. You've never liked any sung by a woman?
This specific person I'm telling you about, we were at a function and a song came on, an early 2000s song sung by a female. He sung every word and I was shocked. Do you remember all the stuff you told me? But you're singing the chorus because when I was younger, he would only sing the rap parts because in his mind, those are the parts that men sing.
Yeah. Okay. So is this good steps, or does he still have the same attitude?
To be honest with you, I don't know. But it always shocked me because it was like, wow, all of that stuff you did to me when I was younger. But now look. Like I've been in situations where like I'll never forget there was this grown ass man. Didn't know him from a hole in the fucking wall. Because my friend was trying to tap on me while we were in the elevator, but I didn't hear her because I was listening to this really good Beyonce song. And she was like, damn, you really love that Beyonce, because she kept trying to get my attention. And the man started laughing at me for like listening to Beyonce. And I was like, sir, who are you? Like, get out on your floor. Like, who are you? Like,
wait a minute. Who are you?
Why are you paying so much attention to me, who happened to be like 12 at the time?
Yeah, literally.
I was like,
respect Beyonce because isn't she one of the top artists of ever?
The world. Like, I don't know of ever, period. I'm supposed to be listening to rap to make it less funny. Like, and his thing, I like rap too. I like all of that. I like all music, but I mainly grew up listening and loving a lot of songs sung by women. That's just me. But like you said, it's crazy how we as a society want to put gender on everything. I am glad that you did tell me a little bit about that briefly, because I didn't want to come off disrespectful. Also, that wasn't planned. That was during our conversation. I don't want you to think that was like something.
No, I love it.
This is the difference between me and some fucking incel online. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't understand something. So because I don't understand something, I'm going to make fun of you at it or jokes and be ignorant. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ask questions. Simple ass steps that a lot of people could take and they don't. You know, I'm going to take a chance at it. I'm going to understand it. But to be honest with you, you explained it a really great way. It's really your own personal journey. A lot of people that don't get it, they like to equate it to sexuality. They like to throw everything in one bucket and say, it's all gay. Really? Or is it just people trying to do more things for themselves individually
and present who they really are? Like,
come on.
Why are we mad at that? Like,
you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it, but it all has to do with respect. I'm always going to respect somebody for who they are.
Have you ever heard of Taylor Mack?
Yes.
Taylor Mack uses Debbie as their pronoun, as Debbie's pronoun. So Debbie's name is Taylor Mack, and Debbie uses Debbie as Debbie's pronoun.
I actually learned about Debbie during a presentation in my class. Debbie does plays that are like 24 hours long.
Yes.
And it like details like the revolution of like America or something like that. And it's like the plays is like a day long. Yeah. I learned about Taylor Mack last semester. The reason why so much people are having a hard time understanding it is because it's taking time to get used to. We all knew Demi Lovato to, have she, her pronouns. So when it became a thing where they started using they, them pronouns along with Sam Smith.
Sam Smith too.
I was still referring to the both of them as the pronouns that they previously identified as. It took a really, really, really long, I'm serious. Like it took a really, really long while for me to start actually training myself to use they, them. But it really, all it takes is time. And the fact that you have people like them that are understanding enough to be like, I know. Sometimes I misgender myself. I feel like when we have conversations like that, it brings a platform for understanding. It brings a platform for respect. And that's all we need. We just need respect. And I feel like because a lot of people don't know about this is what gets bullying. Yeah. To the question. Because sometimes people will take that ignorance and then use it as a weapon.
It's an insecurity of self. Like, I think my brother does this. Like, my dad does this too. It's like an internalized, I even did this. I had a lot of internalized misogyny, like towards myself, like to the point where I didn't wear pink as a child because I was like, no, like I need to be like my brothers. Like I need to be cool. Yeah. And like my dad was a man who would get asked if he was gay a lot just because he really liked art. He dressed really nice. And he was like tidy.
If you don't check those boxes, you're considered. Yeah.
He is working through it in a different way. Like he's got homophobic tendencies sometimes. But I realized I'm like, okay, well, this is coming from a fear in yourself of being perceived a certain way, and a little bit of like, okay, well, I need to go against this and prove that I'm not this. It comes off a little bit. Oh, okay, I get it. But like, yeah, it's fighting back on the other side for fear.
This same person that I was telling you about just now, the one that picked on me for liking the songs I like, they were bullied all when they were a child. The same way. Like, he was also called gay. Also called gay for doing this and being different.
So then put that all on you instead.
He's putting it all on me. He grew up adapting to a lot of those words that were thrown at him. Where to me, I grew up opposing it. You know, I stood on who I was. You know, my mom always told me to stand my ground, you know, and to never let people come at me for who I am, you know, because I am who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Still till this day, my family never changed. You know, I have a lot of family members, you know, my mom's side of the family, I love them to pieces, but they're hella judgmental. You know what I mean? You know, it sucks when you have family that still don't get it. Claudia, she also, shout out to Claudia. I shout out Claudia every episode, but shout out to Claudia. But she helped me realize last year that a lot of the bullying I went through, it was simply projection. Like, these boys were insecure. So because they were insecure about who they were, they threw it on me. And that was also a big ass revelation for me. Like, wow, probably all of them were gay themselves and just haven't took the time to realize it. Or they were questioning whether or not they were gay. And because they feared that, they threw their fears on me. Everything that they were dealing with, they threw on me. And that also kind of helped me begin to forgive a lot of my bullies, which I still haven't done. I'm still working on it. But that was the one road that I began to take to kind of put myself in the other person's shoes.
Yeah.
And say, well, you know, when I was a little kid, I wasn't thinking about sleeping with nobody, having sex with nobody, you know, but a lot of my classmates were. A lot of kids in my neighborhood were doing freaky things with one another. Sexuality was more of an interest for them than it was for me. I didn't care about anybody. Till I did things that you would see a kid do. I like to play. I like to sing. I was doing like certain things that my friends and I were doing as kids. We got judged for because we weren't having sex frequently. We weren't vaping. We weren't doing a lot of the stuff that was trendy when we were a kid. And because, again, we didn't fit a lot of those social constructs, we got bullied for it. My best friend, Jasmine, you know, she was still is a very eccentric person. And Black people always do something that's a little different from a lot of Black people are used to. They're considered doing something white. He called her the whitest Black girl he ever seen. And I was like, can you just list, first of all, I don't know if he forgot that I was on a bus and that we were like super close. But once you mentioned my best friend's name, that's going to be a problem for me. Now I'm going to want to know what's the tea with you. I was like, why? Because he brought up one day when she put food coloring in her water. And she made her water purple. She didn't do anything to water. She just put food coloring in it, just to make it purple.
Just to be fun.
Drink it, just so her water could be a different color.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay.
Better reason. I need a better reason.
Because she listened to rock music. You're kidding me, right?
Okay.
Like, I was like, you're kidding me, right? Like,
and the origins of rock are whitewashed. Like, rock.
Let's talk about it, okay? Because Black people created everything. Like, I'm about to say, you need a little bit of I would have took her being weird over y'all trying to be accepted by others. That's actually what I admire the most about her. Shout out to Jasmine, because she really is unapologetically herself. The bullies ran amongst the popular crowd. The popular crowd in my school, my middle school, was the athletic majors. So the athletic majors thought they ran the school. And they were the biggest bullies. And in high school, it was the dance majors. They ran the school. It was weird. It was really weird. I guess it's that feeling of feeling like they're the most active, like their major requires them to be the most active, that because of that, they felt like they were always on top of their game when it came to things. Like they had to do the most. It was an ego thing. It was definitely an ego thing, and you could feel it. You know, and every person in that major didn't get it, because my best friend was a dance major. My friend Jasmine, she was a dance major back in our middle school, but she was one of those dance majors that she didn't put you down.
Yeah.
Because she could dance, and she could dance very well. And that's another thing also. Just because they didn't get in for that major doesn't mean that they don't do it outside of the school. Come on, let's talk about it. I act outside. I do 100 things outside of school. Obviously, as you could tell, this podcast being one of them. I do 100 things out of singing opera. Singing opera is not eons from the only thing that I do. One of many things that I do. I feel like what you said is correct. Like, I like that nowadays people are starting to speak up more about social constructs, and I hope that sooner or later this begins to open a door where people begin to just respect one another.
Like, in all these situations that you've expressed about like your bullies and like experiences, like, I wonder if part of it is like trying to do, like, we don't have outlets. No one has explained. I feel like I never got an explanation on how to self-care. We're not encouraged to do the things that we want to do or be what we actually want to be. We have to do something else. We have to go to school so that we can learn to be soldiers for for whatever corporations, capitalistic America, whatever. Knowing who you are, having your artistic outlets, like in the environment where you're being bullied and these people like shaming you for it. Well, what's your outlet? Like, doing something else. Your outlet is not honest to actually what you want. But we also don't have the tools to realize that.
We don't. Thank God I had an awesome support system.
Yeah.
My mother helped me through all of my bullying. You know what I mean? She was my companion. She was somebody that I could come home and talk to. You know what I mean? Yeah. Based off of what I was thinking, the feelings that I was having, I talked to her. Like, it was a judgment-free zone every time I talked to my mother. And that was the biggest perk about my mom. Judgment-free zone. She gave me such a judgment-free platform to be unapologetically myself. All of my siblings are used to my weird antics because I'm a weird person, and I love that I'm weird. Okay, I'm a big ass baby. I still watch cartoons till this day. Come on. Like, do I have to keep putting up this shirt? I'm a big ass fan of SpongeBob, which everybody knows. But, I'm a big ass kid. I don't like that feeling of being serious. Like, I don't like that feeling of, I get it, like certain circumstances, you do have to present yourself. But to be honest with you, I want to take that back because I feel like even nowadays, certain things are changing where it's like, just because you do certain things doesn't mean that you shouldn't be taken seriously as a person. Just because you wear certain things that you wear doesn't mean that you shouldn't be taken seriously or respected as a person. And I think we as a society, we're beginning to realize that. You know what I'm going to do? If I'm able to find my blog by the time I'm editing and putting this video out, I'm going to see if I could. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to try to, because I do believe I still have the link. I'm going to try to find a blog I wrote when I was 12 years old. And I'm going to see if I could post it somewhere or like leave a link to where people could see what it was. When I was 11 years old, that's when I began to kind of acquire more things about loving myself, and it all kind of fell to shit once I began to grow more of my insecurities, which I spoke about in the first episode of my podcast. But self-love is something that I'm actually on a road to discovering again, loving myself. Who am I? Yeah. You know what I mean? And there's no tips I could give because, to be honest, I'm trying to find it myself. But I would say that my first number one rule always is accept who you are and give yourself the grace that you need. Yeah. Shout out to my therapist because she definitely taught me that. Give yourself the grace that you need. It's necessary.
And it's a different road to get there. It's for every single person.
Everybody is going through it. So don't feel alone. For my Black boys out there who kind of feel the same way I do, just believe in yourself. Don't feel like you got to change yourself for anybody. Whatever make people uncomfortable, do it. That's basically, I guess that's advice. Whatever makes people uncomfortable, do it. That part. Because if you're not harming nobody, then it's doable. This is amazing.
I had the best time.
Yes, oh my God. I'm glad. If you wanted to, stick around for 10 more minutes. I did want to play a little game with you.
Sure, I'll play a game.
We are now in I'm about to say freedom of fun. We are now in my last segment, freedom of fun. Did it again. We are now in my last segment, freedom fun. And we are going to be playing Guess the Word. We played this on episode 4, but I wanted to play this with you because I wanted to see how this game goes. A timer for 10 minutes just to make sure that we only do this for 10 minutes. You could put on a timer to make sure that we only have a minute to guess.
Okay.
So whoever has the most points at the ends wins. What do we win? Nothing. But yeah.
Have you ever done
it's like heads up, but we're doing it verbally because we're on video chat.
So I start?
You can start. Yeah.
Okay. So we're thinking seasons. We're thinking chilly. There's stuff falling from the sky.
Winter.
Yes, we're on the right track. And in winter we play games when there's piles of fluffy. We like
we're making snowmen. Wait, we're snowball fights.
Yes.
Okay. God, I'm so glad I got that before the minute ran out. Oh my God, because when you said it, I was like, wait, making snow angels. Because I thought about the Family Guy, SpongeBob and Patrick.
Oh yeah.
Where he was making the snow angel. That's what I got. Okay. This is gonna get you because you're an actor.
Okay.
So this is a very popular character. There's been a dozen plays on and off Broadway based off of this certain character. And the show is actually named after this character. It's fictional. It has to do with magic.
Oh, Harry Potter?
It was originally a movie. The movie starred a girl who was trying to find her way home.
Oh, The Wizard of Oz?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
You got it. Okay, cute. I knew that was going to be cute for you. Okay.
Is a celebrity, but like good vibes all around.
Okay.
Disney Channel. Okay, yes. So we're thinking Disney Channel. One moment she's this, and one moment she's
Hannah Montana. My friend did that on me last episode.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, because she was like, she did it passively. She was like, this girl is always going to give the best of both worlds. And when she did that, I was like, okay, Hannah Montana. Okay. This guy is a very popular boxer. That should give you something.
Mike Tyson?
He's known in history as like one of the best boxers and just one of the best historical figures for individualism and being yourself and working hard.
Muhammad Ali?
Yes. Okay. Kate, I'm so glad you got that. Okay, your turn.
Okay. You ready? You're gonna like this one. We're in Nickelodeon. We are underwater. Except we're not supposed to be underwater. We have science on our backs, like helping us live and breathe.
Okay.
We're from Texas.
Andy?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you said Texas and then you said support, I was like, okay, Sandy Cheeks from Texas. Yes, ma'am. What about that episode from SpongeBob where he's like, look, I'm Texas. And remember he was like making fun of Sandy and then Sandy was like whooping their ass and then they were chasing them. And yeah.
My favorite one is the one where Sandy asked him to babysit the butterfly. And it's like,
oh my God. And they Wormy.
Wormy.
And then and then they thought the butterfly was terrorizing the city and all they had to do was put it in the but I love SpongeBob. Oh my God, I love SpongeBob. Now you made me want to do a character. Okay. I don't want to give it away because I feel like it's going to be too easy, but there was a whole empire created off this character. And this character is a toy. And it's known more as a toy. It was a whole song based off of this particular girl character.
Is this Hello Kitty?
No, but you're so close because it is a doll of some sorts.
Barbie?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you'll know this, maybe you won't. This is a girl, but she's not a human. She is from a magical land where friendship is magic. And she loves to eat cupcakes and she is all about the party, but she's like sweet and for her friends. And they all walk on 4 hooves. And
My Little Pony. Oh my God. Oh, because when you said friendship is magic, I was like, wait, that sounds familiar as fuck. I was like, you said friendship. Then you said the walk on 4 hooves. Oh my God. Okay.
We're thinking Pinkie Pie. We're thinking Pinkie Pie.
We're thinking Pinkie Pie. Okay, shout out to My Little Pony.
I was a big My Little Pony kid for some reason.
Till this day, actually, I would say a lot of my friends still are very much.
My friend too. He's like, I'm rewatching My Little Pony again. I'm like, I love that for you.
We love that for you, as you should. Okay, this guy is a billionaire, and he's an owner of a very popular app.
Mark Zuckerberg. A close.
You're close. You're so close. You're hot.
Jeff Bezos.
Actually, wait a minute. Oh my fucking God. You were correct. It was Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay, good.
Okay, no, I wanted to make sure because when I read it, I was like, wait a minute, I think you had it already.
So she is honestly like, she's a pop icon. Like iconic since day one, except was it iconic since day one? She's worked her way up. She's been an actor. She performed at the Super Bowl. She had a documentary about her and it was titled Her Height.
Jennifer Lopez?
No. But she has also checked all those boxes. She's an eccentric woman. Like she's got a lot of iconic dresses. She wore like meat. She had a whole meat dress.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so glad you didn't make that. I'm so glad you didn't give that away too hard. Because as soon as you said bad romance or anything, I was gonna get that. And the generator just gave me Lady Gaga.
Really?
Yeah, it just gave me it.
They're listening.
That's how you say they're listening. They get it. I believe this character is from Sesame Street.
Okay.
The character's name is also their size.
Big Bird.
Yes. Okay, your turn.
Okay, we're thinking. How do I not give this away? It's a time loved by most. Some people are scared of it. You get to dress up however you want and get free goodies from people.
Halloween. Okay, and I feel like we pretty much did.
We had good ones too.
We had good ones too. We had really, really good ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the only thing I have to say is, how did you like being on here?
I loved being on it. I was nervous to be on a podcast.
But you spoke some awesome ass points, and I'm glad that I got you on here. This is
good to talk to you again, Douglas, since last semester.
Yes, right. I'm so glad, and I hope you also got to understand more of just like my life and where I'm coming from. Because like I said, we don't get the opportunity to talk a lot. Any way that people can stay in contact with you? And
my Instagram is a little funky to spell, but it's French_cow.folk, but PHRENCH. It's interesting.
We love that. Like we said, everything's accepted over here in this circle.
Yes.
All right. Make sure you guys follow our Instagram. And I hope to see you on the big screen, because I know you said trying to be actor, but you're actually a really good, because they don't give themselves the credit that they deserve. Because I've seen you act in class and you actually step on next with your acting. So I can't wait to see you on a big screen.
Thank you.
One day, because you actually do really, really well with your acting. I didn't even tell you that. I think I told Jack, but you made me want to kind of like, I just love how enthusiastic you are with your acting. Your acting seems very much carefree. You give it more thrill that I don't. I look at it more as work, a little bit more than a thrill.
I'm trying so hard.
To me, you're so carefree with it. And that's what I love. I feel like we need a lot more people like you, or at least I need to be encountered by more people like you, because I know they exist. Thank you guys so much. Stay tuned for a lot of other stuff that I have coming up. This is a really cute ass episode. All right.
Bye, Douglas. Thank you for having me.